Hey everybody, Janine here from Janine's Gluten Free Kitchen. Today we are going to be bringing you Lebanese lamb koftas made with a delicious dairy-free yogurt sauce. Stick around for that. So welcome back guys, we're making lamb koftas today and we're going to be making it using our own pre-minced lamb. I've used a lamb shoulder and about half a kilo is what I used, and I've diced it. I've taken away some of the sinew from the fat but kept that nice flaky fat, which is what makes it moist and tender when you're cooking it. And I've just whizzed it in a food processor to get it to the right texture. Now, if you don't want to be bothered doing that, that is completely okay. Just go buy yourself some lamb mince and get about 600 or 700 grams, depending on how much you want at the end. That's going to feed about 4 people. Okay, so we've got our lamb mince that we've minced already, and to that we're going to add half a large onion that we have very finely diced. And it is important because we're going to be putting the onion into the lamb, and it's not going to be minced again, that the onion is minced very finely. That is important. So let's go ahead and throw that in. And then to that, we're going to add some very fresh, I've used flat leaf parsley, but you can use curly if you want, but we want again a nice chopped up parsley. And to that, I'm going to add about 1/4 to 1/3 of a cup. Now the spices for a lamb kofta are not that many because you are relying on the lamb flavours, but what is really important to the Lebanese flavour of the kofta is a Lebanese, what's called baharat, otherwise known as mixed spice, and you can pick that up from any Middle Eastern grocer. Got that with some mixed pepper, some black ground pepper, and I'm going to put in a very heaped teaspoon. Now you can add salt at this point. I would recommend a couple of pinches. I don't eat salt very often, so I'm gonna omit it completely. Now we get our hands dirty, and this is really important because you want to massage the flavors through the meat. Let's add 1 egg to our mix. And if your meat feels quite dry, which sometimes it can do, add a little splash of water. And let's get mixing again. All right, so that's taken about 1 minute to mix together. Now you could put that straight onto your skewers and cook it immediately. I personally like to give it a half an hour to 60 minutes at least, just for the onion flavours and the parsley flavours and the spices to go through the meat. It will make the end product taste better. So let's pop that in the fridge for about half an hour and come back. Okay, so while we wait for our lamb to marinate, we're going to make a yogurt sauce. In Greece, this is called a tzatziki, but in Lebanon and in the Middle East, it's just called a yogurt and cucumber sauce. So I have some very finely diced cucumber, Lebanese cucumbers. These are actually baby Lebanese cucumbers, but you just want to make sure your cukes are very sweet and not the older, sort of more bitter variety. And I've got probably 4 baby cucumbers here. We're going to get some garlic. Here it is. And put in about equivalent of a teaspoon, which is about 2 cloves of garlic. We have a pinch of salt and some dried mint. And dried mint does go better with the yogurt sauce than fresh mint because it packs a bit more flavour. So I've got 2 teaspoons of that, throw that in. And we're going to be using a coconut yogurt so that we can keep it dairy free. And we're going to make, and when you purchase it, you're going to make sure that you get a natural unflavoured yogurt. And if you can, try and find something that is thicker Greek style, it'll always give you a better product. Okay. Yum. It's such a simple sauce and so delicious. And finally, we want to add some lemon juice because the lemon will give it that nice zingy texture, flavour to have with the lamb. Give that a good stir through. And again, like the lamb, this sauce will be better if it sits for a little while for the flavours to develop. So if you can make it a couple of hours before, that is ideal. Let's give that a taste and make sure the ratio of garlic and lemon juice is right. Spot on. Beautiful. It's going to go great. Put that in the fridge. All right, so we have had this in the fridge for actually an hour. So let's make these into skewers. We've got our trusty metal skewers. You can use wooden ones, whatever is easy for you. And if you don't have skewers, you can just form the same shape, but have them loose, that's fine. So I've got a bowl of warm water here, and it actually helps stop the meat from sticking to your hands. So you don't need a lot, just dampen your hands and then get a nice small amount, about, what would you say, how much is that? A very large meatball. And then you're going to make them in sort of 15 centimetre lengths. So just squash that first into a meatball. Make it round and then make it into a log shape with your hand, making sure that it stays compressed because you don't want it to become loose. And then when you've got a shape that looks a bit like that, grab your skewer, put it through the centre, and then just give it a final squish onto the skewer. Now these, you can make them longer if you wish, but I kind of like the sort of, you know, two or three mouthfuls of that size. I'm going to just drizzle a little bit of oil onto my plate so it doesn't stick. Great. And pop there. Perfect. Let's barbecue these bad boys. So these koftas, they lend themselves really well to a barbecue, particularly with the skewers. And we've just got our barbecue nice and hot. And just gonna pop them on there. Now, if you didn't have a barbecue and you still want to have a go at this recipe, that's fine. Like I said, you omit the skewers and you can do them in a pan. I'm just trying to get a little bit of oil so it doesn't stick. And these don't take very long to cook. They're along with a lot of other lamb dishes, you actually want the centre just to remain moist, and for that reason it is actually nicer to only just have it cooked, or even a little bit pink is ideal. But certainly not super well done because they will dry out and they'll be very tough to eat. Alrighty. So you don't want to turn these over too often because you'll find that the lamb will stick to the grill. So you want to make sure that each side is cooked, you know, quite well before you start to turn them. So if when you go to turn them, if they kind of pull and stick, just leave it for another minute or two. Let's take them inside. All right, so I have a lovely wooden plate that I'm going to use to serve this up. And this is our coconut sauce that we made earlier. I've got some rocket or arugula. Just going to put a little splash of that around. Pop our kofta lamb, which smell incredible. Gonna give it a bit of a squeeze of lemon on there. Yeah, that will make it taste delicious. And in case we want some more lemon, let's put a few of these on here. And there we have our lamb koftas, yum, with a semi-traditional coconut, dairy-free yogurt sauce. I hope you've enjoyed it. I highly recommend to make it super amazing. Team it up with our tabbouleh. Recipes in the link above. You can just click on that and get that recipe. Don't forget to like and comment and subscribe and hit the bell so you don't miss any other videos. Take care, we'll see you next time. I know, why is that? Hey everybody, this is Janine from Hey everybody, this is Janine from Glutens Free Kitchen. Welcome back, Glutens Free Kitchen. Oh.